Hey everyone, this is Robert Solomon coming to you from South Studio One with the Smart Start podcast, designed for inspiring entrepreneurs who want simple yet effective methods to grow their online lifestyle business. What's going on today, guys? Today I'd like to talk about learning new methods and delivering your message with less confusion and information overload. Now that's from both sides. People that are teaching it and people that need to learn it. I always love to learn new stuff, just about anything. But when it comes time to focus on specific stuff for business, or if you need to get something done and you need to fix the furnace or whatever, where do you start with all the information out there? Yeah, it's a digital world. Google's a good place to start, but be resourceful. Do you have any other place, should say any different resource where you might find that same information you need, or maybe a different version or opinion on it? If you like to learn about business, I would go get the popular magazine like Entrepreneur Magazine. They even have an online version of that. I'm not sure if they're the same. I haven't, looked at each, but you can trust that, basically is what I'm saying. You want to get trusted information. That's, with this example, Entrepreneur, current business trends. Have you ever really thought about where do you get up-to-date information that's not only, if you want to use the word official, but real, correct? Like TV today, everything they talk about is fake news. They just manipulate people to believe whatever they want. As far as information, I don't think books can deliver on current information as I'm speaking about in this podcast. So what do we have left? The online world of overloaded information is what we have. We have to sort through that. The writer Andrew Davis videos and podcasts for some big companies out there, he said it well. Just because we have more information available doesn't mean we can consume more information. Today when you search for, let's use a better word, a definition or a process, well-rounded explanation about anything, you get 10 different views, descriptions, and interpretations for that one thing, whatever it might be. It's crazy. Wow. What's what? Where does the truth begin and the fluff end? Everybody's out there they have their own idea about how something is or should be. They use $100 words. I don't know, us humans, we just can't say blue is blue. We have to interject how smart we are and confuse the hell out of the masses or the people that are coming to us to learn stuff. Like I said in the beginning, where does one start not only to find information, but relevant, up-to-date, and accurate information that's specific for your needs, your problem? My experiences in this world of information out there, it's kind of scary. Not only for older people, I'm sure the younger generation, they're born with an iPad in their hand, but I don't know, if they're not taught the proper way to research information, you can't just take everything on that iPad or the internet for granted, Considering everyone out there a self-proclaimed guru, coach, or mentor, I start to get a mental picture of, think about it, the blind leading the blind. I don't mean no disrespect, but think about it. Here, what if little Jimmy, he wants to start an 8th grade study group on Facebook and invites his friends that could use his help, or they're also struggling in, let's say, science. Awesome. I know his group will fill up fast with eager kids who want the free information from the study group, because they're thinking, now I don't really need to study. I'll show up to this group, jing it, and be done with it, record it, right? Well, not so fast. Why? Why, I say. I need help with science, and this guy will get me straight to the answer. Boom. Problem solved. Okay, Einstein. Did anyone bother to ask Jimmy what his grades were for science? Heck, did anyone check the answers you got from Jimmy with your teacher to verify their accuracy or correctness? Now do you see the problem we're facing in our daily lives? And I mean everybody. So, when looking for business answers, such as how to write an attention-grabbing subject line, or how to structure a simple sales page, sales funnel for, let's say, your new widget, you have the correct idea. Did the explanation have a loss of meaning or incorrect meaning? You see the issue again? Okay? For my computer guys and gals out there, this should clear up any confusion about this talk. Whether you download an app or a program, email that app, save that app or program to a different file or folder or a flash drive, what happens to that information? Besides the information being transmitted in packets of binary digits, you have the same informational or information degradation. Simply put, the app or program is made up of binary digits, correct? Ones and zeros, yes? Those ones and zeros make up bits and bytes. So, okay, along their journey over the internet, email attachments, saved to different folders and whatnot, burned to a DVD even. That program or app loses a bit here and a bit there. Now, what's that mean for the end user, us? In the computer world, if you have Windows, that means the blue screen of death. Not a fun thing to get, especially if you have a lot of information on your hard drive. Plus, if you don't get the blue screen of death, you'll get error messages, apps will freeze, videos not playing, and a slew of corrupt files that not only, the only way to correct it is to wipe the drive clean and start from a fresh load from a disk. What does this mean for a new person that has this nice blue widget and needs to find a common sense way to attract brand specific people to his blue widget? We know he needs blue widget people, right? His markets or his market are those people looking for a blue widget, not a green, not a yellow, not a light blue, blue. When you seek knowledge about a particular subject, procedure, process, no matter what you need to learn, make sure you know the source of that information. I'm sure you heard the term, not all things are created equal. Well, that goes for just about anything. Wouldn't you agree? I hope you're getting my point about this, because the information available to you today on the internet, if you were to ask some old school marketers about this, they might reply, well, I know I would reply, a carbon copy sales letter, which today equals copy and paste email. Well, what's the point? Okay, if you research an idea to improve, let's say, your advertising that you're running in Google AdWords, I guarantee you, you type it into Google, let's say you want to learn about proper email etiquette or something like that. You'll get page after page of results talking about email etiquette with the same information, and I've seen it so many times, with the same spelling errors from somebody totally different, a different website, a different author. I think it's kind of funny. Like to always, I always like to say, don't take my word for it, look it up. Find a book about that subject. Cross-reference what you learn. Is it true? Is it, accurate? I know what I said about books earlier in this podcast, but that was regarding at the moment discoveries or new methods to do something. Information you would maybe find in your newspaper that day happening or that week, not something older that's proven. So the fundamentals of how to properly research an idea or method still needs to be addressed. I think it does the old school way with books, pen, and paper. I talk about him a lot. Marlon Sanders, he still goes out to a coffee shop with a yellow legal pad and a paper, or yellow legal pad and a pen. And when he writes subject lines, email headings, he still writes it on paper. Why? Because you're giving your senses, your brain a workout. You're actually doing it, reading it, thinking about it, writing it, then reviewing it. That's one of the basis for how you learn. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute too. This is pretty neat. But yeah, the fundamentals of how you get your information. Don't go off the farm just yet. Let's continue listening here. The foundation to start a business is still the same exact way to do business. I mean, when you start a business, you need to have an idea, research your idea, get funding, so forth. The only thing that's really changed today in our digital life is, you got a brick and mortar store where people walk into, and there's the digital side, the virtual e-commerce store. Some have both. Some are created online only. And believe me, it's very lucrative online. Why? Because people are lazy. Who wants to go to Domino's Pizza and pick up their pizza? They don't care if it's $3 more. They want it delivered. Same with the information. You want a book? Download it. Order it on Amazon. Get a copy in the mail. Heck, a lot of that. I think Borders is a popular bookstore. I think they went out of business. A couple of them have. Strictly online anymore. But let's try to continue here. I don't want to keep you going on forever. But, this stuff's information. Or this stuff's important. The information you put in your brain has to be original thought from the writer, the inventor, the speaker. Whoever created the definition or examples. To understand it how they intended you to learn it, you have to understand it from their point of view, their process. Does that make sense to you? Here, years ago, when you had an idea or a process, it would better wow somebody, especially if you wanted to get a book printed, because the publishers wouldn't even look at you or give you the time of day. Today, it's much different, because if you're 3 years old, you can have your own ebook. You can have your own YouTube channel and be a viral sensation around the world. But yes, accredited sources for digital information is ideal as long as it's not JimmyScienceClub.com, you see, So how did we get so naive about knowledge that we listen to or read one article on Facebook that's not been verified at all, but we write it in stone that it's the truth? Kind of babbled that sentence up here. But if you follow me, don't take everything like this Safe Auto commercial where the woman says, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Yeah, when pigs fly, that's true too, I bet. They said it on the internet. If you wonder why your business or YouTube channel isn't performing like the gurus told you, well, maybe you should find a different guru, or better yet, find somebody of expertise, a better mentor, and get the information right from the horse's mouth. If you ever heard that term, go to the source. That's what I say. The exception to the rule is you need to relate to the person as well, delivering the information, because there's so many learning styles that everybody has. For example, somebody who learns by listening, a well-researched audio podcast read word, for example, about the McDonald's brothers business might better serve you, like I said, if you hear it instead of reading it, okay? Actually, you could check the description below for some resources. Actually, a link to that article I was just telling you about, the McDonald's brothers. It's not too long of an article. It's on robertgsullivan.com, the website. It's pretty interesting what they created. That's a lot of businesses took that model. Over the years, I've learned things the hard way. Maybe I was a knucklehead, immature, or didn't find my place in the world yet. One thing was certain, though. The way I learned, I understood and comprehended information was different than my peers, my friends. No, before you ask, I wasn't dropped in my head as a baby. Well, let's not hope not. No, but seriously, I can't stress enough to people that I instruct or train. Never stop questioning unless you can do what you're learning in your sleep. I always wondered what that comment meant. Don't stop learning it until you can do it in your sleep. Here's my best explanation. When you lay down at night to fall asleep or try to fall asleep, do you review all your problems in your mind visually, your imagination? Do you actually picture the situation in your mind, to make sense of it? That's where the term mind map probably comes from. I know I never can fall asleep. I'm always reviewing the information that I've learned, or today, what happened, or I thought that's supposed to be done in our subconscious when we're sleeping. You get what I mean here? And if you don't, leave a comment below about the part you need clarity on, or if you have a correction to anything I said, if I was wrong about anything. But I always do my best to give you accurate information that will help you grow and the growth of your business, and more importantly, you as a person. So the less diluted or not diluted at all the information you put into your brain, the better you'll be able to understand the process and the process of that information, and how to use that information. So the important takeaways from this podcast: use the skills we learned in grade school to find answers. Remember book reports? Recall how you did that. That's how you should research subjects. It's grade school stuff. I don't know where we forget all this. Never take the information you hear, read, or watch at face value. In other words, ask questions to confirm the accuracy of that information. Next, research the topic you learned, or want to learn about, and at least with 5 sources. It could be on the internet, but just be sure to word or phrase the search a couple different ways. Check that information if you're using the internet exclusively. But I always say, use reputable sources for information. A good example is that Dummies series, Writing for Dummies or Learn Computers for Dummies. It's a popular publication for how-tos, and it's been around for some time. And lastly here, ask for help from your mentor, your coach, or teachers. If you spent more than an hour trying to solve an issue, start by asking to be pointed towards the solution. Don't ask for the solution. And if the mentor is smart, they would point you in a direction anyways. This will give you a sense of accomplishment and confidence when you do the work yourself and when you get your resolution or you finish your project. This will better prepare you to teach what you learn or write about, and you'll have more success in return. So, as always, check the description below for some useful links and tips and some different resources that you can use throughout your life and business. So, this is Robert G. Solomon coming to you from South Studio One. Stay cool.